Hello, mate. Can we come in, please?
Yeah, I'll open the gate for you now, bud. I'll put you a mat and a sling. Just take the sling out of the thing in the car park. I'm just in swim side with you.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you.
All right, mate.
Cheers. So I first visited Grenville in the winter of 2022. I'd met Jeff, the tattoo artist, at Gigantica during a September session, and he invited me for a guest ticket. However, when we came, it was absolutely freezing. It didn't get above sort of 4 or 5 degrees in the daytime, and needless to say, neither of us caught anything during the 48 hours that we were here. He invited me back this year, or sorry to say last winter, and it was the end of November when we came this time. Weather was a bit better. We fished over in swims 32 and 33. They're on the back of a southwesterly, and with the big strong winds that were blowing during that session, we were able to cast out pretty far towards sort of an area in the middle where they like to hang out. Now, on the first morning of that session, I caught a 39-pound mirror, sort of a 3/4 half linear, real nice fish. And then the wind changed, and Scotty set up opposite in swim 16, and I think he had, I don't know, I think he had 2 or 3, one real nice, fully scaled, about 37-pound from memory. But I was just packing up on the third day, after the third night, and the wind changed, and Paul said that I could stay for an extra night, so put 20 key bait out on his advice. I think I had 6. The biggest was a 45-pound linear, an incredible fish, and a handful of 30s, one of which was, I remember this 36-pound mirror that was one of his Andy Parker stockies. What a fish that was. Like, obviously that gave me the taste for it, and I came again with on a guest ticket and fished round in swim 16, and on this occasion, I think over the course of, it was either 2 or 3 nights, I managed to catch 10 fish. Again, fishing at long range, over loads of bait, 340s, the biggest of which was 48 pounds. There was a 48, 43 and a 42, and obviously some 30s as well. So I think that gives you a little flavour of Grenville. You know, it's a big venue where long range fishing can be a huge edge. Obviously at different times of year they do come in, but it definitely sort of lends itself to being able to fish at range over big beds of bait via boat drops. And yeah, I've never fished anywhere like it. There's in fact, well, I don't think there is anywhere like it, especially in the UK. For numbers of big fish, you're talking 2,500 fish, a couple of 140s. I don't know how many 50s, but a good stock of 50s and a couple of 360s. So a serious stock. So at the start of each session here at Grenville Lake, you need to come in and put your key on your swim number. We're in spring, and ideally you're looking for shallower water. In the main, Grenville is quite a deep lake. You know, there's depths of well over 30 feet out in the middle. On top of that, you have cables running across the lake from here to the island, sort of cutting the lake in half. And what that creates is a bit of a safe zone behind the island, and naturally where the fish go on pressured venues, they go where you can't really angle for them. Swim 6, which I'm just about to place my key on, like so. Without doubt, one of the best swims on the lake. The cables run across the front of the swim, and you're as close to those fish that like to hang out on the back of the island as you can possibly be. Yeah, I think it's a good swim, primarily because it's got shallow water, it's close to an area where there's sanctuary, and yesterday it done a 45-pounder. A great starting point. You know, I could walk round, go looking for fish, but there's every chance someone could turn up, come in here, pick up their key and take the swim, you know, before I've had a chance to make a decision. So Paul, who runs the fishery, he's told me 6 is the best bet. He's here every day. I'm going to take his word for it. So having never fished in swim 6 before, I was always going to need to have a little lead around to get my bearings and get a feel for what's out there. Now, I had been advised that the swim's been doing bites between sort of 36 and 37 wraps out. Now, 36 to 37 wraps is a very long way. And although it's not very windy today, it is forecast to get considerably stronger over the next sort of 24 hours. So I clipped up at 35. It's very clear. There's streaks of clay coming back on the lead. You can feel the odd tap of stone through the braid. I always think that when you're going to cast really far, you want some form of wind assistance. Like when you want to be fishing like, well for me, 37, 38, 39, 40 wraps even, you know, I can do that when the wind's off my back, but not when it's blowing across me, into me. Once I pick the spot, whack the marker float out there onto the clip, take it out of the clip once it's hit the bottom, pop it to the surface. I've given Paul 20 kilos of my own bait, which is a mixture of 12mm manila, there was some 16mm manila, and there was some crumb as well. There was 20 kilos in total there, and he had his own bucket of his own bait with some maize in it, which was probably another 10 kilos. So 30 kilos of bait have gone out around the marker float. I've put 2 of them right in it, the ones closest to the island, the ones that are sort of more on the slope, and then there's one just a bit deeper, just off of the bait, which is the left-hander. So, but yeah, until you get a take, sitting it out over 30 kilos is going to feel very, very odd, especially at this time of year. So yeah, the jury's out where it's going to work, but failing that, I'm going to sit here for 48 hours, talk to you a little bit about casting, and eat some good food in my bivvy. But it's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I probably didn't get settled rods over the bait until about 12 by the time I'd finished casting. You sit there, you think, 30 kilos of bait, am I absolutely crazy? It's off, like straight away. Maybe the pink tippers, you know, help the fish find the hook bait quickly. Yeah, it blows my mind, this place. It's unlike anywhere else. I'm fishing the combi multi-rig, size 6, wide gape hex, boom section of about 4.5, 5 inches long, and 4 centimetre little braided bit on the end. About 12 inches of dark matter tubing behind the ledge. You wouldn't want to go much longer than that because it will cut down on how far you can cast it. The most important thing for fishing really, really far out like that is keeping the hook baits quite small. So you don't want to be using like a big 20mm on the end, because that will act like a parachute, especially with the wind coming in. I've got a 15mm manila tough one, just trimmed down a little bit and then tipped off with half a 12mm red pop-up. It's a good fish, that is. It's thick. Go on. Yes. Get in there. That's a 40-pounder all day. All day. Look how thick it is. Well, how's about that for a start to our session here at Grenville Lake? 41 pounds and 12 ounces, and coming just a couple of hours after putting 30 kilos out. An incredible lake, and this fish just goes to show, look at the condition of it. It's like absolutely bursting, pumped, absolutely pumped as they are at this time of year, and in tip-top nick. Incredible. Hopefully there's going to be a few more. Yes.